Today, I'm ranking every second baseman in Major League Baseball for the 2026 season. Welcome back to day 3 of the 12 days of MLB rankings, where I rank every player at every position from every team in baseball for the 12 days leading up to Christmas, where on Christmas Day, I drop my rankings for the top 50 players in Major League Baseball. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you for the 12 days of rankings, and let me know in the comment section below what rankings you agree or inevitably disagree with. Let's get going into these rankings. Getting the rankings started at number 32, unfortunately, another Colorado Rockies player, Adael Amador. Amador just really hasn't had any success at the major league level. While he's been better in the minors, been a more complete player in the majors in 51 games, 176 average, 242 on base, 250 slug for a 492 OPS, 1 home run, 8 doubles, 10 RBIs in 51 games. It's been a struggle for Amador, so until he performs better, can't really rank him higher. Next up at number 31, I've got Michael Massey of the Kansas City Royals. While Massey had a pretty decent 2024 season, he just really fell off a cliff in 2025. Home runs were down, doubles were down, every single stat was down for Massey in 2025. A 244 average, 268 on base, 313 slug for a 581 OPS, and OPS plus at 63. He's got a decent glove, but I don't even know if he'll truly be the everyday second guy in Kansas City. Getting the top 30 start at number 30, I've got Pittsburgh Pirates projected second baseman Nick York. I actually liked York as a prospect, and I do think he can be a better hitter than what we've seen, but so far in his 33 games at the major league level, a sub 280 on base percentage, a low batting average, not a lot of pop in the bat, and an OPS at 612. It is just hard to rank a guy who's not really a glove first second baseman as well, much higher on this list. I think he could have a decent year. I think he can be a league average or around league average hitter. We just need to see it before we actually believe it. Next up at number 29, I've got Brayan Rocchio, second baseman of the Cleveland Guardians. Rocchio's a glove-first guy who doesn't hit a lick, never has hit a lick, and probably won't. For his career, he has a sub 300 on base percentage in 281 games. Last year, he hit 5 homers, 18 doubles, 44 RBIs, stole a few bases, 233 average, like I said, sub 300 on base, 340 slug, 630 OPS plus at 75. And even the defense last year wasn't the strongest. So I just can't really put a glove-first guy whose glove wasn't great without a bat any higher. For the 28th best second baseman in Major League Baseball, let's head out to the West Coast, San Francisco Giants' Casey Schmidt. Projected second baseman as of right now, he had a decent year in 2025. He was about a league average hitter, 95 games, 12 homers, 15 doubles, 40 RBIs. He hit 237 with a 305 on base, 401 slug for a 706 OPS. I don't really think this is necessarily the defensive home for Casey Schmidt, but being a league average hitter while having completely fine defense at the position in a small sample, something to keep an eye out for, but definitely not one of the stronger options going into the 2026 season, at least not to play every day. Another drop down here at number 27, I've got Zach Gelof, projected second baseman for the Athletics. Gelof really had such a great rookie season where in 69 games, nice. He had 14 homers, 20 doubles, 14 stolen bases, 840 OPS. But in 2024, really bad season. 2025 dealt with injuries, but in the small sample, struggled again. For Gelof, the last season, he's basically been around like a 20 home run, 20 double guy while stealing 20 bases, but with a 205 average, 260 on base, 612 OPS for an OPS plus at 75, with a pretty decent glove, but still just needs to hit a little more consistently. Just missing out on the top 25 at number 26, I've got Cole Young of the Seattle Mariners. Now, truthfully, I think they're going to go with someone else at the position, but as of right now, seems like he's their option. And while I do like some things about Cole Young, like he has decent exit velos, he made really good swing decisions in the minor leagues. It's just at the major league level, we haven't really seen anything yet, and defensively, he was really bad at second base in the small sample. Now, he is still young, only 22 years old, but at the dish, he did struggle still. A 211 average with a 302 on base, 305 slug for a 607 OPS plus at 78. Only 12 extra base hits in 77 games. Again, the bad defense. He's got a lot to improve and he has time. He was so young. I'm not out on Cole Young just yet, but might not be the answer every day at second base at this exact moment. Getting the top 25 started at number 25, I've got Christian Moore of the Los Angeles Angels. Shout out Brooklyn. Shout out Christian Moore. Shout out the SEC. Christian Moore, 50 games, showed the kind of player he is. While defensively at second base, that's never his strong suit. At the plate, he has pop. He hit 7 home runs in 53 games, had a total of 13 extra base hits, 16 RBIs, even stole a couple bags. Now, he did strike out a ton, but he also walked a little bit. Still the slash line of 198, 284, 370 slug for a 655 OPS left something to be desired, but as we know, the Angels rush guys through the system. Moore seems to be another one of those players. Interested to see what he can do in a full year, given the position at second base for the Angels. Biggest drop in today's video, at number 24, I had to put Luis Garcia Jr. of the Nationals. He was so good in 2024, and he was so bad in 2025. Truthfully, probably can't play the position anymore. He was horrendous defensively. So so bad. Still hit okay in terms of counting numbers, but again, the slash line not good. A sub 300 on base percentage is pretty unacceptable. Did hit 16 homers, 28 doubles, 66 RBIs, and stole 14 bags. Finished with a 701 OPS, which is about league average. But the glove's so bad. The on base is so bad. He kind of just put up these numbers because he got 500 plate appearances. Otherwise, I don't really know what kind of player he is moving forward or if second base is really the home for him. But still, like, he did hit some home runs. I can't knock a guy fully for having a 700 OPS. It was just disappointing. Coming in at number 23, I've got Chase Meidroth, second baseman of the Chicago White Sox. Meidroth had a decent rookie year. To be honest, I think he's shown that he can be a Major League Baseball player. He plays the position well. He can even play a little bit of shortstop. Played 122 games, 5 homers, 15 doubles, 23 RBIs, stole 14 bases, hit 253 with a 329 on base. 320 slug is a little concerning for a 649 OPS. That's the biggest problem, just the lack of pop. But he's got good plate discipline, puts the ball in play a ton, and is a decent fielder. I do like Meidroth as a major leaguer for the rest of his career. Ever so slightly ahead of him at number 22, I've got Tommy Edman of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Could be him or Hai-Sung Kim. Truthfully, I think Edman still is slightly the better player. While he dealt with injuries last year and the year prior, it's hard to see what kind of player Edman truly can be when healthy. What I end up seeing is a decent glove, an okay enough bat, crushes left-handed pitching, and that's kind of Tommy Edman's MO. Over his career with the Dodgers, 134 games, 19 homers, 18 doubles, 69 RBIs. Nice. Hitting 229 with a 280 on base, 392 slug, 672 OPS for an OPS plus of 87. The second base position's weak. You can kind of see all the guys here being the same. Don't get on base, don't have a lot of pop. You get the gist. That's Tommy Edman. Now to change it up a little, missing out on the top 20 at number 21, I've got Romy Gonzalez. Projected second baseman right now for the Red Sox, that's all I'm going to say. He's a platoon masher, crushes lefties, but even against righties, still is kind of a better hitter than all the guys that were previously mentioned. Now, because he's platoon, I can't really put him much higher on this list, despite having by far the best numbers we've heard so far in the video. 96 games, 9 homers, 23 doubles, 3 triples, 53 RBIs, hitting 305 with a 343 on base, 483 slug, 826 OPS for an OPS plus of 128. Like, Romy's good. I like Romy. It's just he can't play every single day, and truthfully, probably more of a first baseman than he is a second baseman now. But he's got value. This was a hard guy to rank, but just kind of had to because the Red Sox needed someone. So Romy Gonzalez just outside the top 20. Getting the top 20 started at number 20, probably the new second baseman for the Texas Rangers, Josh Smith. Josh Smith is an awesome utility player, and he brings value. He can play every single position on the field. He plays them all pretty well. He gets on base, puts the ball in play, steals some bags, a little bit of pop. I like Josh Smith. Now, second base is the position he's probably played some of the least at the major league level, so it's hard to talk about his defensive acumen there, but having a 107 OPS plus last season, an OPS at 700 in Texas, accumulated 3 baseball reference WAR, hit 10 homers, 35 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, 335 on base. I like Josh Smith as a player. Another big drop in today's video at number 19, I've got Matt McClain of the Cincinnati Reds. As good as his rookie season was in 2023, 2025 was just as bad. The pop felt like it was completely gone. He still did put up some home run numbers, but in a lot more plate appearances. 147 games, 15 homers, 18 doubles, 50 RBI, stealing 18 bases. Like, he's still a great athlete, and it's a great American ballpark, so he will hit home runs. But a 220 average is down 70 points, a 300 on base was down 60 points, and a 343 slug. That's down almost 160 points from his rookie season. Gave him an OPS at 643. Just can't rank him inside the top 10. Won't give up on him yet, but definitely keeping an eye out on Matt McClain in 2026. For the 18th best second baseman in Major League Baseball, I actually like this guy. It's Luke Keeschel. I think Keeschel's going to be a nice little ball player. He put up a great 50-game stretch for the Twins, where he had 4 homers, 14 doubles, 28 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. Hit 302 with a 382 on base, 445 slug for an 827 OPS plus at 128. I would love to look back and say this was a horrible ranking. The guys ahead of him just have more track record, more trackable things, and do some stuff better, especially defensively, where Keeschel might not be the sharpest second baseman, but still, I do like Keeschel. This is a rough ranking for him. I'm fully aware. I think he could be much higher. It's just hard to put him ahead of some of the other guys right now. Still great, though. I like him at second base for the Twins. For the 17th best second baseman in Major League Baseball, I went with former #1 overall pick, Jackson Holliday of the Baltimore Orioles. Let's get it out of the way real quickly. It wasn't a great season for Jackson Holliday. It was better than the previous year, where he struggled a lot as a 20-year-old, and he still is so young, so I don't think there's any reason to give up hope. But defensively at the position, he was an absolute mess. He's got to improve at second base. One of the worst fielders in the game at the position. Now at the plate, some things that I liked. 17 homers, 20 doubles, 55 RBI, stole 17 bases. hit 242 with a 314 on base, 375 slug, 690 OPS for an OPS plus at 95. I think you could make an argument for Chisholm ahead of him. I like Jackson Holliday, the former #1 overall pick. I think that he's going to have a better season in 2026. Little projection here. You guys can roast me in the comments. Just missing on the top 15 at number 16, another big drop, Ozzie Albies. Woof, woof. I'm not going to say it, but you guys know what I want to say about Ozzie Albies. Never wrong, just early, because he put up another stinker of a season, 157 games, 240 average, 306 on base, 365 slug for a 671 OPS plus 89. He did have some injury stuff messing with his performance for sure, but man, like he was horrible defensively. He didn't hit well. He was kind of an accumulator again. I don't think these numbers over a smaller sample would have been nearly as high, but because he got nearly 700 plate appearances, 16 homers, 23 doubles, 74 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. I don't think Albies is bad, but he's definitely not one of the premier second basemen in the league right now. Not after about 1,000 plate appearances of being a well below average hitter and fielder. Getting the top 15 start at number 15, Xavier Edwards of the Miami Marlins. Edwards graded phenomenally at second base. He is great at the position with the glove, way better than shortstop, and at the plate, while he's definitely not going to ever go back to being like a 130 OPS plus guy like he was in 2024, I think he's going to be a league average hitter who can steal a ton of bases, which would technically help his offensive value, and play good defense. That's like a top 15 second baseman in the league. Now, last year, 139 games, 3 homers, 20 doubles, 5 triples, 43 RBIs, stole 27 bases. He hit 283 with a 343 on base, 353 slugging for an OPS at 695. Again, that's about league average. Not saying Edwards is a world beater, but I think because of the defensive value and the speed, it's a top 15 guy. Up a few spots at number 14, I've got Bryson Stott of the Philadelphia Phillies. Similarly, Stott, great glove, and at the plate, probably going to be a league average hitter. The second half for Stott was way better, 855 OPS in the second half versus 637 in the first. Truthfully, I do think the player that we saw by the end of the year is him, around a league average hitter with a good glove who can steal bases, get on base a decent amount, doesn't strike out a ton. That's Bryson Stott for you. Not exciting, not flashy, but a solid player in the Phillies team that definitely can use a guy like this for either the bottom of the order to get back to the top or someone to just help out their defense. Stott's solid. One spot ahead of him at number 13, newly acquired New York Met Marcus Semien. Dropping down 10 spots. Let's be honest, the bat is a little concerning right now. Second straight season with an OPS below 700. The on base is getting closer and closer to being below 300, and the power is kind of falling off a cliff. Just not the same player he was back in 2023 with the Rangers. One thing that hasn't changed is the glove. Still absolutely elite. Won another Gold Glove at the position, and that's why the Mets got him. They want that defense, because last year offensively, 15 homers, 16 doubles, 62 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases. Like I mentioned, a 669 OPS. Nice, but also not nice. That's not good. The Mets need more offense. Still, being a league average hitter with arguably the best glove at the position, that's a borderline top 10 guy in the league, because second base is such a weak position. And then weirdly enough, one spot ahead of Semien, I actually have Jeff McNeil, also of the Mets. Now, I think McNeil's going to get traded. I don't think the Mets are going to keep him, but I do think that McNeil might be a better second baseman. Offensively, he's definitely better. 111 OPS plus last year, 12 homers, 21 doubles, 5 triples, 54 RBIs in 122 games. Hit 243 with a 335 on base, 411 slug for a 746 OPS. That was much better than Semien offensively. Defensively, still a good defensive second baseman. He had like 4 OAA, which isn't the same level as Semien, but still plus. So yeah, I do think Jeff McNeil is still a borderline top 10 second baseman. It just won't be with the Mets because I don't think they like the fit with him in this organization anymore. And then just missing on the top 10 at number 11, I've got Brandon Lau of the Tampa Bay Rays. Truthfully, Lau probably not playing much more second base. The reason he still does is because of that bat, and it is one of the best bats at the position in baseball. 31 home runs last year, 83 RBIs, 134 games. Hit 256 with a 307 on base, 477 slug, 785 OPS plus at 116. The glove's just pitiful, which is why he has to be outside the top 10 despite having some of the better offensive numbers at the position. Getting our top 10 start at number 10, Tiger second baseman Gleyber Torres. Gleyber's just a good ball player. He's a top 10 guy. He hovers around there every year, and it makes sense. Defense, not the greatest, but at the plate, he hits good enough. It's not the same as guys like Brandon Lau who hit 30 homers, but you look at the OPS, it's similar, 745. He plays better defense, still not good, but better than Lau. He gets on base a ton, of 358 on base, walked 85 times last year is great, and still 16 homers, 22 doubles, 74 RBIs on the season. Nothing to laugh about. That's a really good year. He's a top 10 second baseman. Up a bunch of spots at number 9, I've got Jake Cronenworth of the San Diego Padres. Finally started hitting last year. came back to being a much better hitter, 108 OPS plus, a 744 OPS. Again, the counting numbers are never going to be great for Cronenworth, 11 homers, 20 doubles, 59 RBIs, but he gets on base a ton. A 246 average with a 367 on base is really nice, and he is just so much more valuable at the second base position than he is first. Seems like the bat's going to be a little more sticky, back to where he was when you were excited about him as a younger player in San Diego. I don't think he ever goes back to being like an 800 OPS guy, but in a weaker position, I do think Jake Cronenworth is a top 10 guy. And then I believe this is the second largest jump of the entire video. At number 8, I've got Jorge Polanco. Defensively, Polanco definitely is weak, but at the plate, absolutely crushed it last year. And when your bat is that much better than almost everyone else at the position, it does just leapfrog you to the front. 26 homers, 30 doubles, 76 RBIs last year. Hit 265 with a 326 on base, 495 slug for an 821 OPS, OPS plus at 134 in that Seattle ballpark. That was awesome. At the time of recording, don't know what team he's playing for. I'm assuming he's going to be back in Seattle for the Mariners. Yeah, so post-edit Mark here. He's playing first base in DH for the Mets, so this is a little weird, but also I can't really change the rankings too much. It was too close to the time I made this. Next up, at number 7, I've got Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, at the time he's on the Cardinals. He's definitely getting traded. I know it seems crazy to see Donovan drop down one spot, even though he had a great season. It's actually just because there's a bunch of new guys ahead of him. Donovan's still good. OPS plus at 119, 775 OPS, gets on base a ton, hits for a high average, even has some extra base hit ability. 10 homers, 32 doubles, 50 RBIs. It was a really good season for him. He's a valuable utility man. He plays good second base. This is now when we're really starting to get in the conversation of good second baseman, and Brendan Donovan for sure is one. He's going to bring the Cardinals back a lot in a trade. He's a great player. Just missing on the top 5, crazy to say, at number 6, Jose Altuve of the Astros. Now, Altuve's defensive numbers got all screwed up last year because he played way too much left field. At second base, he's not good, but he's still fine enough, especially because he does still hit. 155 games last year, 26 homers, 24 doubles, 77 RBIs. He hit 265 with a 329 on base, 442 slug for a 771 OPS, and OPS plus at 112. Good ball player, Jose Altuve. He's definitely getting older, and next year we're probably going to see another downtick, but until I fully see him fall off, I still think he's a borderline top 5 guy at the position. Still hits really well. Love Jose Altuve. Getting the top 5 start at number 5, Chicago Cubs fans, hope you're happy, Nico Hoerner. Hoerner had a phenomenal year. Obviously, defensively at the position, one of the best in all of baseball with the glove. He's great. He's awesome. At the plate, he has no pop, but he is such a contact king that it plays to his advantage. Played 156 games last year, 297 average, 345 on base, 394 slug for 739 OPS, which is an OPS plus at 114. With that elite glove, that's phenomenal. He was a 6-win player according to WAR. He stole 29 bases. He hit doubles. He hit triples. Nico Hoerner's just a really good ball player. Like, definitely a top 5 second baseman. About time everyone throws some respect on his name. Hoerner's a good ball player. For the biggest jump in today's video, at number 4, up 16 spots from last year, Bryce Terang of the Milwaukee Brewers. Before last season, Terang was a glove-first guy, and while OAA dropped off a cliff last season, I still think he has a really good glove at the position. The biggest difference is he can just legitimately hit now. He had one of the biggest jumps in bat speed last year, and what do you know? It made him a way better hitter. And he also started pulling the ball more. Like, Bryce Terang, it looks like he's just going to be a good baseball player for a pretty long time. Terang last season, a career year, 156 games, 18 home runs, 11 more than the prior year, 28 doubles, 2 triples, and 81 RBIs while stealing 24 bases. He hit 288 with a 359 on base, 435 slug, and a 794 OPS for an OPS plus at 121. He finished 14th in the MVP voting. This was a phenomenal year for Terang, extremely valuable. It's not just a glove-first guy now. He can also hit too. That puts you in the top tier of second baseman, in my opinion. For the 3rd best second baseman in the league, it's going to be a new position for him, but I think he'll do great. I've got Bo Bichette. Similarly, at the time of recording, I have no clue where Bo Bichette is signing. Probably back with the Blue Jays and probably to play second base. He had a really good 2025, and especially at second base, I think he can be a much better fielder than he was at shortstop, where he's not very good. 139 games, 18 homers, 44 doubles, 94 RBIs. That's phenomenal. 311 batting average, 357 on base, 483 slug for an 840 OPS, OPS plus at 129. That's fantastic. At second base, he'll be one of the elite options. Bo Bichette's a really good player. It's good to see that he's healthy. I'm interested to see what he looks like for a full season at that position, especially after the injuries, but all signs point to Bo Bichette being an elite second base type player, especially because that bat's so good. Just missing on the number 1 spot, at number 2, the second best second baseman in the league is Jazz Chisholm of the Yankees. You guys don't want to hear it, and for some reason, people hate Jazz. I wonder what it could be, because if you actually look at him as a player, he's ridiculously good. Like, you guys are just sleeping for no reason. Jazz last year, 130 games, 31 homers, 15 doubles, 80 RBIs, stole 31 bases, hit 242 with a 332 on base, base, 481 slug for an 813 OPS, OPS plus at 125. Won the Silver Slugger in the American League, so he's one of the best hitting second basemen in the league. And then, oh, what's that? Oh, defensively? Oh, that's right. Last year, Jazz Chisholm was the 4th highest rated second baseman defensively with OAA. So he's got a phenomenal bat and he's got an elite glove. Yeah, that's the second best second baseman in the league. And if you don't think so, you need to take a look in the mirror, because that's a you problem. Jazz Chisholm's a dog. And then, of course, coming in at the number 1 spot at second base in Major League Baseball for the 2026 season, it's Ketel Marte. Oh, I love Ketel Marte. He's so good. I'm glad he's holding the crown again for another season. This guy, when he plays, is one of the most valuable offensive players in baseball. Last year, 126 games, 28 homers, 28 doubles, 72 RBIs. Listen to this slash line. 283 batting average, 376 on base, 517 slug for an 893 OPS, OPS plus at 145. Defensively at the position, he had positive OAA last year, so great. He can field the position, he absolutely mashes, and when you compare him to other players in the league, not just second baseman, he had the 7th highest WRC plus in baseball last year, in front of guys like Pete Alonso, Michael Busch, Freddie Freeman, Geraldo Perdomo, Vlad Guerrero Jr. In terms of on-base percentage, he was 8th in Major League Baseball. He was top 15 in slugging percentage. Straight on OPS, he was 7th, behind Juan Soto, Kyle Schwarber, Kyle Raleigh, George Springer, Ohtani, and Judge. Like, this guy is so elite, and especially at the second base position, he's the best one there is. So there they are, my second base rankings. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. We're dropping so much. And drop a like on the video too. It really does help support. Follow me on all my social media. GiraffeNeckMarc links are in the description if you want to have more of a conversation about these rankings as well. And that's where I'll wrap it up. You guys know the drill from here on out. This is yesterday's ranking. So if you missed out on it, click this video. I'm telling you, it's a good one. And here's a link to the playlist for the 12 days of MLB rankings in case you watch this later on and you want to catch up on some of the other ones. Thank you guys so much for the amazing support as always, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video, the third base rankings. Bye.